better place. We are smart at what we do to make our world a better place. By the help of God, to make our world a better place. By the help of God, to make our world a better place. Smart do.
Hello students, I hope you are all fine. Today I want to take you through Form 2 communication. What is communication? This is basically the process of passing information from one person to the other. It can be within an organization or it can be between people who want just to discuss something. So we are going to see the importance of communication. And one of the importance of communication is giving and obtaining information. Secondly, we have clarifying issues. Thirdly, we have communication can also enhance public relations. Fourth, we can have starting and influencing action. Among many others like improving customer services. Now let's look at lines of communication. There are several lines of communication. First, it can be in the level of communicating parties. So we're going to see lines of communication, of which I've said lines can be several. Once it all depends with the communicating parties. So in terms of communicating parties, we can have vertical communication or horizontal. Vertical communication is used when passing message from maybe a senior person to a junior person within the organization. So it occurs between senior and junior. For example, when your principal is talking to the student, definitely the information is coming from the principal to the student. So the principal is the senior in that case, and the junior is the student. We can also have horizontal, and this occurs when people are at the same level. It can also be referred to as lateral. So this communication happens to the people or between the people at the same level. For example, a meeting of class prefects. All of them are at the same level. So that communication is what we call lateral, or we can refer to it as horizontal. When do we observe vertical communication? This is when there is training, when the senior person is training the junior, or when evaluating the performance, or when delegating the duties. For example, the school president can be allocating other officials duty, or can be training other class prefects something, or can be evaluating the performance of each, or may be solving a problem involving them. That one is when the vertical communication occurs. And the horizontal communication occurs when maybe people are trying to come up with ideas on how to improve something, because they are all people at the same position. So we have importance of horizontal communication, which include facilitate coordination of the activities of our business, and we also have enhances the teamwork. So this one enhances teamwork. Let's say you have employees in one business, so they are talking to each other and coming up with solutions. And we also have, as I had said, facilitating coordination. Facilitate coordination. Yes. Then let us look at a third one, which is called diagonal. Definitely we know that vertical means something that is either straight from up coming down, and horizontal means something that is going across that way. What about diagonal? Diagonal now cuts across. Diagonal, it either starts from the junior to the senior, but passes through a process. So diagonal communication basically means among people of different levels in different departments. For example, in sales, we can have sales departments and finance department, or other managerial positions. So somebody at sales speaking to someone in finance, maybe the head of finance, that one is classified as diagonal. In school, we can have HODs talking to each other, like HODs at different levels, or math teacher communicating to a HOD, communicating to English HOD, that the math teacher comes from a different department and the English HOD is from another department, but higher than the math teacher. So we can now also have the nature of the message, that is whether the message is formal or the message is informal. That one will also enable us to see the line of communication. Let us see the essential elements of a communication. Essential elements simply mean those things that we must have for us to classify any information or anything as a communication. And right now I'm communicating to you. What am I using? I have a message for you. It means there is message. I am also the sender. I'm sending for you a message. So we are going to have elements which include one, the sender. Past the sender, we're going to have message. Past the message, we are going to have medium or channel. Past the medium, we are going to have the receiver. And then we are going to have what we call feedback. So there must be sender. There are two very main people here. We have the sender and the receiver. But there must be message and the medium of transferring that message. So the sender is basically the person with whom the message is coming from. The message is the information being conveyed, and the medium is the channel used to convey that message. Feedback is now completing that process of communication, where the sender always expects a feedback from whoever they have sent the message to. For example, if I ask you a question, what is your name? Definitely, I am inquiring about your name. So when you give me your name, my name is Michael, then that is the feedback. Let's see the forms of communication. In forms of communication, we have several forms of communication, one of them being oral, second being written, and the third being audiovisual. So, forms of communication. Number 1, oral. Number 2, written. Number 3, audiovisual. So oral, this is the information that is passed through or by the word of mouth. The sender and the receiver are both using speech to communicate to each other. We also have different categories under oral communication, which will include face-to-face communication, face-to-face, we also have a telephone, and we may also have radio calls. Face-to-face has got different advantages, and we'll be able to look at them. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the lesson.